Let's do it. Back. What's up, Tom? We are back
What's up,
again.
man? I was waiting
Zoom
for the
recording.
back there. You waited a little longer.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I did that. But we
I
are
don't know
back.
either.
And
You're doing okay today? I know the Devils got smacked around.
oh, here we go.
Are you all right?
Here we go. I was talking shit about the Rangers, but they won their last two, and they didn't play today. It's okay.
No, so this was one of your games in hand that was mentioned in the last podcast, or I've been hearing about a lot. So remember what we talked about? You got to go 2-2 in those 4 games. Well, it's a good start. You're 0-1. So
0-2 actually.
0-1 in games in hand, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
right.
yeah, remember how we were talking about? So like, the Devils have played 4 less games than the Rangers.
Yes.
This was one of them. So now they've only played 3 less games. So.
All right, this isn't the Battle of the Hudson anymore. So if you want to keep mentioning how they got smacked, I will give you stats and everything to prove it.
Well, no, I actually, because I had some, wagers on this game today. I had Brad to score. I had Hughes to get a point.
Brad's a mistake, but Hughes could pick.
Yeah.
Hughes could pick.
And I had TJ Oshie to score. So I was very invested in this game. And the first period and a half, I was like, wow, this Devils team looks very, very good. Like up 2-0, like extremely, extremely good. I'm like, Mike's right. I'm saying I'm going to look like an idiot down the season. And then I want to say that 10 minutes left in the second period. Like a switch flipped. And they looked like the Devils. I think that they are. So.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, obviously, I could be sitting here and fighting with you, but you're right because the last 2 games, dude, they just because after we got off that podcast on Thursday, was it Thursday night we did?
Yeah.
You were right. I hate saying that you're right, but you were right. You're right, Skip.
As of right now, the Devils are still technically a better hockey team than the Rangers, but the Rangers have not had a game they've looked that bad as the Devils look today.
Yeah, no, they haven't. And I mean, and like we said, ever since that podcast, Rangers have won. Well, they won that night. They won another one yesterday.
And then they beat the team that you guys just got demolished by 4-1 yesterday.
Yeah.
So matchups, man. Matchups in hockey. We talked about it.
Listen.
You still got a lot to look forward to, though, because Jack Hughes is going to be a superstar in this league, and there's no denying that.
Oh, yeah, he's better than Capo Shitto, for sure.
Here we go. We don't know that yet.
Nah.
You want to say at this exact moment he's better than Capo Caco? Sure. He's got more points, and he's got more
but he's the center. He should have more points, right?
He sees the puck a little more. He's more involved in your top lines, and Caco's getting there. And if you want to go to advanced metrics, they're pretty even. But we won't get into advanced metrics because the eye test tells everybody that Jack Hughes is more electric than Capo Caco. But
what's his stat line for the year? Not making fun of him. What's his stat line for the year?
I believe he's got 3 goals. Let me check. He doesn't have a lot of assists. He might not even have an assist, to be honest with you.
Well, like you said, he's a left winger. He's just a scorer anyway. He's not really an assist guy.
Yeah, he's got 2 goals and assists. He only has 3 points, but he's like top, I want to say 10 in like puck possession, offensive time in the zone, and he's a dominant forward. It's just he creates chances. He might not show up on the stat line right now, but they'll come. I'm not too worried about Caco. But yes, Jack Hughes, I guess, is better right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm not even going to say it because I'm a fan, but he does. He's looking electric. He is. I mean, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points on the year so far. It's not bad for Hughes. So, I mean, definitely a lot to look forward to him as a player. So,
yeah. Your other first overall pick, who they gave the captaincy to, who I was a little thrown off by, has not looked good the last 2 games, but he hasn't played in a while.
Yeah, you could tell that he's been out for the whole year so far.
Yeah.
But I could definitely tell that for sure.
I think him getting named captain tells you a lot about the player that he is and that he's going to be. So.
What he does outside of the ice too, maybe.
That's of course.
Really considered him and everything like that. And then, same thing for the Rangers. I mean, I hate complimenting you and I hate complimenting the Rangers, but I mean, I saw that Laugh finally scored the other night and Mika finally scored the other night. So that's good. It's good for them for the season upcoming. That means they're trying to get back on track, which is good.
Our coach, who I dislike a lot, I gave him credit for the first time on Saturday. He finally switched line combinations and finally stuck with them throughout the whole game. And it was Lafreniere was on the left wing, and Panera was on the right wing, and centered by Zibanejad, and it was dominant. And the second line was dominant, and Kako was out last minute, and the team bounced back, and they played well. And hey, big win. They're 6-7-3 now. So one more win this week. They play the Flyers, Bruins, so they could easily go 0-3. But if they sneak one or two out of them, they'll be at 500. So that's what I'm looking forward to this week. And I'll be at the game on Friday, which is cool. Getting my COVID test on Tuesday, which is crazy. And I'll be excited to share with everybody how the experience is being back at the first professional hockey game in this area since, COVID broke out. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it was mandatory to get the COVID test before going?
You have to get a COVID test within a 72-hour period of the game. So the game's on Friday, so I'm getting the test on Tuesday. And then I'm hoping I get it back within those 3 days. All day Tuesday, basically, Wednesday, all day Thursday, and even Friday, technically, if I get it back on Friday. So I'm hoping. It's a stressful thing. I might schedule 2 COVID tests just to be sure. Just in case.
But yeah, man. You can't miss that opportunity to go.
I think they're going to have to change that after a while. Because it is a burden.
I mean, I think it's what – oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. But, I wonder what's going to go – I wonder what's going to go on with I know you were telling me that Governor Murphy was going to be on the fan tomorrow. I wonder what he's going to say. I wonder what news he's got.
I think he's announcing that fans will be back. I think it's big news and why he's going on the fan because it's going to affect the Jets and the Giants coming up. Mm-hmm. The football season, and then obviously Devils, Rutgers, Seton Hall, and things like that. And I think that's what he's going to announce. He's going to announce that fans can go back.
I hope
at
so,
all
Tom.
levels. Yeah, I know you guys will be at your Devils games, and this might be the first time in my life I'll be able to say that tickets might be comparable because the Rangers' lowest tickets start at $50 for this. So
I'm not going
to $50 is cheap. So
yeah, I'd go to the Garden. As much as I hate that place, I'd go to the Garden for $50. You kidding me?
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, this is definitely good. I mean, for the sports world, for sport fans, if especially for the fans in New Jersey and the New York area, if they're starting to bring fans back and things are starting to go back to normal a little bit, it's always a good sign.
Did you speaking of, you just said like the New York area, did you hear today during the Devils game that kept talking about Travis Zajac? And
it's his 1,000th game today. Yeah,
it was his 1,000th game. Congrats, Travis Zajac.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, of course. But they kept saying he's the longest tenured athlete in the 4 major sports in the New York City area. So remember how we always talk about the argument how it's only Jersey's team, we're not really associated with New York.
New York is still being compared.
Yet every time there's a stat about Brodeur or any Devils player, it gets brought into Islanders and Rangers. But then as reasonings not to like the Rangers or not become a Rangers fan, it's because it's only Jersey, we're our own market or whatever. But then yet you get associated with New York, and it just bothers me because it's choose a side. Do you want to not be considered New York, or do you just want to be?
I know. Call me crazy, and you can disagree with me if you want. But New Jersey, obviously New York is its whole level. It is with the market and everything like that being for fans. Of course. But New York and New Jersey are compatible because look at the Giants and the Jets. They play in New Jersey, but they're called New York. Yeah. I think it's just a market thing. I don't know.
It's crazy though because you would never consider, or at least lately, free agents would never go I'm gonna go play in New Jersey because of the market. You know what I mean? They'd much rather go play for the Rangers. And now I think the Islanders too. Now that they're moving closer to the city, I think the Islanders are going to become a bigger market because they were Long Island's team. So.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I know. I'm watching this Lake Tahoe game today because my bet that I was talking about before, and the Bruins scored 3 goals in 99 seconds and not 1 assist from Patrice Bergeron, and I need him to get 1 more in this game. They're up 6-2. They scored 6 goals, and Bergeron has 1 point. It's just crazy. Wow. One of the best centers in the league, and their team scores 6 goals and you don't get another point. It's bothersome.
I know, but at least you hit some bets today. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I got Jack Hughes get a point. See, I don't hate the Devils.
Yeah, you do.
It's just furthering my point.
You hate us.
No. If I hate the Devils, If I hated the Devils completely, would I bet on them? No. I almost put 100 beans on them to win the game. But I refrained.
Big mistake if you did.
But I refrained.
Good refrain.
Definitely refrained. And at least I got
good.
I got Hughes. I thought Bratt was going to get one today, which pissed me off. But
he was close. He buzzed again. He had a couple shots on goal again. Buzzing. But
I like the humbleness from you, though. I like it today. See, you got the Devils fans got a little slice of humble pie this weekend, to say the least.
No, we're still not humble because if they beat Buffalo the next 2 times, damn well we'll be talking
right
again. So that's what I'm hopefully preparing for.
Yeah, you better hope that they don't play.
Yeah, hopefully
like
they have today. Oh no, and even against Buffalo too, they didn't show up till the 3rd period.
Yeah.
So I looked at the stats, Tom. Like they outshot Buffalo 13-6. That's 6 more shots on goal, obviously, and
7.
They still were out. 7, yeah, sorry, and they still. I'm bad at math, and they still
no, I'm just saying,
got outshot and. Yeah, I know, and they still got outshot in the game. I mean, it was only by 2. It's not a lot, but if you have a dominant period like that, and you still get outshot the whole game, that's just bad.
Well, what happened today is you got the Devils started off. They outshot the Capitals 7-0, right? In the first period, the first 11 minutes, they were outshooting the Capitals 7-0, and they got outshot in the game 41-26.
Yeah,
even less than that. I think it was 41-23. That means that you got outshot 41-14 in the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's 41-26 was the shots.
I got it right the first time. Yeah. So you got think about it. You got outshot 41-19 after the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So you didn't, and they kept it close. Surprisingly, I thought the score could have been a lot worse. But
yeah, I was going to say Aaron Dell. His first game, playing in the net in a long time, and he did exceptionally well.
Did you hear that I jinxed him? Did you hear that today?
Yeah, she did. Of course she did. I did hear that.
Did you hear that? I was texting. I don't know why. I think because me and Vinny, one of our friends, Vinny, we were playing COD, and then we got off, and we were texting during the game, and I could not believe how Aaron Dell was standing on his head.
He was doing really well.
What? I'm like, this guy sucks, but he's not today. And literally, once I said not today, Carlson put it in the back of the net to tie it, and then whatever happened, and Kyle texted me and goes, "Tom Ching, Aaron Dell." And at the time, he had 37 saves. I'm like, I did not jinx him at all. I mean, he was screened on those 2 goals. They were just beautiful shots, beautiful plays, and he had no chance. But the dude made 37 saves. If you're getting 37 saves from Aaron Dell, you need to win the hockey game.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. You're right. And you're right on that part because he definitely, he got a shot today. And obviously, like you said, first time in a net in a long time. And he did really well for how bad that Devils defense was doing.
Exactly.
And all the power. The Capitals scored 3 on their 4 power plays today. That doesn't
Your penalty
help.
kill is dead last in the league. That's an issue. It's got to get better if you want to be a playoff aspirations. It's just got to get better.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I was going to say for the Devils, their biggest problem right now is I wouldn't say lack of shooting because I feel like they tried creating more exceptional opportunities to score. Yeah. But like I was going to say, power play kill definitely needs to be fixed. What do you think for the Rangers needs to be fixed for them to turn around their season?
Well, I think the Devils, they need to turn around. I'll get to the Rangers. The Devils need to fix that penalty kill because it's trash. And they try to make too many passes, definitely. For the Rangers, they need to score more. They are literally dead last in the division with only 2.5 goals a game. A little bit, good goaltending that they're facing, and a lot of it is just not putting enough pucks on net. But scoring 4 against the Capitals on Saturday was encouraging. And
for sure,
they get 2 tough defensive teams this week with the Flyers and the Bruins. But yeah, I think if the Rangers start scoring more, they're going to be fine. This is probably the best defensive, structure they've had since their Stanley Cup runs in the mid 2010s. So I'm excited about that. Their penalty kill is number 2 in the league. They've killed 31 out of 32 penalty kills. Which is fucking great because usually their penalty kill sucks. And I think a lot of that has to do with the coach you guys have now because he used to run our defense and our power play. And the Rangers' penalty kill sucked the last 2 years. And now he leaves and it gets better. And now the Devils are struggling on the penalty kill. So Yeah, I think they just need to put more pucks in the net, the Rangers, essentially, because
I agree.
What have I been talking about this whole time? Not only last podcast, but to you guys in like our various group chats. I'm like, the Rangers outshoot almost everybody they play. They put pucks on net. They dominate in the offensive zone that just doesn't find the back of the net. And I think a big part of that was Zibanejad wasn't scoring. Panarin got hurt, missed 2 games. Kakko wasn't, finding the back of the net. Hedl got hurt. So it's just all of our offensive production got hurt. And when you have Colin Blackwell and Phil DiGiuseppe playing in the second and third lines, you're not going to get as much scoring as a team that has, Carl Hagelin on their fourth line. It's just not going to happen. But yeah, definitely they got to score more. And goaltending. Their goaltending's been up and down. Needs to get more consistent. But yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
We weren't arguing.
No.
Give each
Although
other
we
facts.
are getting closer to a closer record with our teams. What are the Devils now? 6-5-2.
Yes, they are.
Rangers are 6-7-2, and my big point last Thursday in our podcast was in the 4 games in hand, the Devils, if they went 2-2, they'd be exactly where they are. They're 0-1. So you got to keep that in mind. They're 0-1 in their 4 games.
Keep it in mind. I literally tweeted today, the teams I like stink.
But the Devils don't stink. They just
I know they don't stink. I know they did not play well today. And,
exactly.
And then I know me and you are both big fans of Rutgers basketball. I don't know what happened to them today.
Naturally, I'm an alumni now, which is crazy to say that. But yeah, their title hopes.
You know how ironic this is?
We're
talking about Rutgers, and you're wearing a freaking Syracuse shirt right now.
Because they'll always have my heart, Syracuse. It's college. I feel like college sports is the one avenue you can root for multiple schools.
Oh yeah,
because they don't really face. They're not in the same league, and they're not like when March Madness comes. If Syracuse played Rutgers, it'd be a win-win for me. Like I would be okay. I think I'm more serious. I think like I get equally as mad with each of those games. Like Syracuse played Notre Dame yesterday, and they were down like 11 at half, and I was actually pissed watching the game. So I was happy to see that same fire for my Syracuse sports as I do for Rutgers. As I was watching the Rutgers game today, I was getting pissed, and I've never experienced that with other sports. Like in the NFL, if I'm watching a mutual game, even if I like them, I don't get mad, or like if they lost, I'm like, all right, whatever, it's over.
Yeah.
Same thing with all the other sports. But college, like if Syracuse is on, they're playing Notre Dame or they're playing North Carolina, and Rutgers is on and they're playing Maryland, I have fucking 2 TVs up. I'm watching both of them, and I'm getting equally as mad. And if they played each other, which they did earlier this year, Rutgers beat them by like 12. I was more happy for Rutgers because Syracuse has had nonstop success. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
sure.
So
it's like
you see more success with Syracuse basketball. Than
I've seen so many Final Fours and stuff. I haven't seen them win a national championship yet, which I'm waiting for. But I've seen more success. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But Syracuse will always have my heart and soul. Rutgers. So
I don't know. You think that all the teams I like enough, I would just be a bandwagon, pick like Alabama for football or Duke for basketball, but no, I stick with Rutgers.
Are you, baby? New Jersey represent. Hey, you're sticking with the motto, right?
Sticking with the Jersey teams, no matter how bad they are, Tom. So.
Yeah, but I'm with you with Rutgers. So,
that's good.
Do you want to come back and recycle and start talking some NBA? I know you wanted to touch on Dame and Doncic.
I did. I know you want to talk about your. I
want to touch on the Knicks a little bit. I want to touch on the Knicks. I do.
Absolutely.
This is an exciting night for me.
Absolutely. All right, we will be back.
Yes, sir. ZMT Sports back. We're gonna start talking some NBA, which is a first on ZMT Sports. Exciting. Mike, the floor is yours. With the latest controversy on social media between NBA and NBA superstars.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to bring up this topic because NBA, I follow it to an extent. This may sound very bandwagonish, but I wanted to keep another Dallas team in there, another Texas team in there. So not too far back, I became a Mavs fan. I became a fan when they won the championship with Dirk. I think that's what brought me in. That sounds so bandwagon, but it's true. When they beat the Heat and that big 3 with LeBron, I won my heart over so much. So I became a little Mavs fan, and this new icon. This guy is the same age as us, and this guy is amazing. Luka Doncic. he's unbelievable. I don't know if you watch NBA enough to see him play and see what he's done so far.
Of course, and he's one of the first players that I realized, like, shit, I'm the same age as this dude, and he's doing that, and like, what?
Yeah,
it's crazy, right?
Freak. Already, he was 21 years old when he had a game-winning buzzer beater against Kawhi and the Clippers last year. Like, that's just
nuts,
wild. But yeah, so they had the All-Star lineups were just announced. LeBron's the captain for one on the West side for the Lakers, and Kevin Durant is captain on the East side for the Nets. So there's that, and other teams, obviously, you get other starters for other positions. So on the West side, Luka Doncic got the start over Damian Lillard, and everyone who knows Damian Lillard, Dame time, everything that he does, his
freaking nature as well,
his half court pull-ups in the middle of games to win games. That guy is nuts as well. You got to respect his game and everything like that. But the thing is about the All-Star games, they're all fan voted in. So it's kind of confusing why there was controversy.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I think it was a tie. Like I heard, I was reading articles that it was a tie between the two, but Luka got the edge because of how, I guess the NBA picked it. His play is better than Dame's right now. So I'm going to let you attest to it, Tom. I have their stats for this year, and I'll let you attest to it. So Dame's he's averaging 30 points a game. Amazing.
Okay.
He's averaging around 8 assists per game, and his field goal percentage is like 44.5 right now, which is really good. I mean, throughout the course of a year and everything like that. And his team is 18-11, so they have a winning record.
Okay.
All right. So then here's Luka Doncic's. Stats for the year. He has 29.1 points per game. He's just one short than Dame. He's got 8.6 rebounds and 9.4 assists. So he's almost averaging a triple-double. I don't know why Dame's rebounds was on here, but I know it was only like 4. So it was kind of low.
Yeah.
He's not a guy that's going to get rebounds a game. But the thing with the Mavs are they're not doing hot. They're 13 and 15 on the year. So what do you think, Tom? Is it because it doesn't make sense in this scenario, because wouldn't Dame be picked because his team's doing better, or is Luka being picked because he's the young phenom and he's the future?
I think that Luka is getting picked because he's the young phenom and he gets talked about a lot, and he's basically all of Dallas pretty much, and all of what makes the Mavericks. But I lean towards Dame. I think he should have.
Even Luka said, he was like, maybe I think that Dame should be starting over me. He even said it.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously Luka deserves to be in the All-Star game and be a big part of the All-Star game, but without a doubt, I think Damian Lillard deserves to start. When I'm on Twitter and I see and I follow the NBA to an extent, and I'm starting to finally get back into it for the first time since, like, I want to say 2015 now, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But in regard to this situation, it's like when I see it, it's Lillard is almost the most underrated superstar.
Oh yeah.
In the NBA, and somehow Luka playing in Dallas, which is also not that big of a basketball market. I mean, I know Dirk made it bigger and they have a couple championships, but
just one.
Luka gets even more hype than him sometimes on a daily basis, what I see. And Lillard just has quietly for the last couple of years just has brought Portland to places it's rarely been before. And I still remember that freaking step back game 1-3 that he hit in the playoffs a couple of years ago to end the series. And it was just like
against Houston. It was ridiculous. We were together. We were together. I remember at Johnny Z's house. We watched it.
It was literally wild, man. And he's just an electric basketball player, and what he's done for, Portland and that basketball team. And I mean, he's resurrected playing along with Damian Lillard has resurrected Carmelo's career.
Yes. Yeah. Carmelo is doing well.
That's just the impact that I think Damian Lillard has. And I don't know, man. He was snubbed from being a starter.
Absolutely, and even as a Mavs fan, even as a big Luka fan, I love Luka. Like, how do you not love a 22-year-old star? We're older than him,
of course.
And he's obviously playing for a team I like. But at the same time, like, this is where I'll go with this. And you made the perfect example just now. You just said, Carmelo Anthony, this guy who's been in the league for so long, his play definitely dropped. Now he's with Portland and his play is back up again. Like, he's playing phenomenal, playing like a starter. And then let me remind you, because you're a Knicks fan too. Did you even remember that Kristaps Porzingis is with the Mavs? Like, do you even remember that?
That's a great point. And it's crazy. I hated that trade when the Knicks made it. I absolutely hated it because, the first round picks that the Knicks got, I'm like, they're not going to be worth anything because the Mavs are going to take off because Kristaps and Luka are just going to.
You think that'd be an iconic duo? Yeah.
Yeah, because Kristaps was, when healthy, of course, which he hasn't been fully healthy in Dallas, is an elite basketball player. I mean, the Knicks thought they had an elite player with him, but he tore his ACL and then had nagging injuries, and that was it for Kristaps Porzingis. But yeah. It's easy to forget that Kristaps Porzingis is a Dallas Maverick, and that first round pick the Knicks had, which could be a lottery pick, is looking better and better as the days go on. So that's one of another reasons why I'm finally starting to slowly get invested back in basketball with my.
I say now, if you look back at it, especially with how Porzingis hasn't stayed healthy since he's been in Dallas.
Yeah.
Do you think the Knicks won that trade? Now that you think about it,
I believe that they're on the verge of winning that trade because they also flipped Dennis Smith Jr. this year, who they got in that trade for Kristaps Porzingis for Derrick Rose.
He was so good on the Mavs.
He never worked out with the Knicks. David Fizdale didn't use him right, and I think he just kind of flunked out and just did not want to play anymore for the Knicks. And they flipped him for Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose has been a godsend to the young players on this team so far through his first 4 games with the team. And the Knicks got a nice win tonight against the Timberwolves, which I wanted to talk about. They won 103-99, and it was the first full Knicks basketball game I have watched probably in 3.5, 4 years, maybe. That I was happy, it was 6:00 and I'm at the dinner table. I'm like, the Knicks play today at 7. I want to watch them. I obviously, I'm a Knicks fan, so I've obviously tuned into some games here and there. I see, oh shit, the Knicks are on tonight. When we're playing PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, I'm like, oh, they're down 10. Let me put it on. The other day I had it on next to me while I was playing. Remember, I was telling you guys, I'm like, oh, the Knicks are down this, whatever. But yeah, it's the first full one, and they got a win for me, which is happy. That's why we started this podcast a little late, because I was waiting for the game to finish. Yeah. But they got some young pieces. That is the best coach in New York. Tom Thibodeau is the best coach in New York out of all the professional sports teams, whether it's David Quinn, Lindy Ruff, Joe Judge, Robert Saleh. I mean, anything. Tom Thibodeau is without a doubt the best coach in the city, because what he's doing with this cast, this cast of misplaced people, is
actually one good
impressive.
Way to put it.
It's Taj Gibson was playing minutes, important minutes today. I sent the Snapchat in our group chat, and Kyle texted me separately. He goes, "You are not watching Taj Gibson right now," because it was a video of him shooting free throws, and I'm like, yeah. And then Derrick Rose comes in, and Emmanuel Quickly.
D-Rose, man.
We have Noah Vonleh, who's a 6th overall pick out of Kentucky a couple of years ago. Nerlens Noel, I can't even pronounce his first name. He was the pick from Kentucky a couple of years ago, 6th overall pick. But Obi Toppin from Dayton. it's just a fun team to watch, and they're well coached. They play great defense. All these 103-99. I think the Knicks are without a doubt, I think, the best defensive team in the NBA, and that's what I like to watch, and that's the type of basketball I like. So, yeah, to say I'm excited about the Knicks for the first time since 2013 when they won 52 games with Carmelo Anthony and Jason Kidd and J.R. Smith and got to the second round is definitely a true statement, because I'm officially back and invested in New York Knicks basketball, which means I am fully invested and back in getting my heart broken by the Knickerbockers. That's where I'm at.
You said it best right there, because obviously, like I was saying before, I am a Mavs fan, but I haven't sat down and been I want to watch a Mavs game since. There was last year in the playoffs when they made it again because of Luka.
Yeah.
And Luka had that when they made the one series against the Clippers interesting. They lost it, but he's the reason why they made it interesting. And that was the first time in a while since I've actually sat down and watched them. Probably since Dirk and his retirement tour and everything like that. And
yeah.
And it's hard to say that because you just named players off the top of your head, dude. I can't even tell you. I know there's Tim Hardaway Jr. I know they got Big Boban for center. They got Dwight Powell for another center, and they obviously got Porzingis. Porzingis isn't healthy. Powell doesn't stay healthy. Dude, the other guards, dude, it's just college central. Trey Burke out of Michigan. They got Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's actually playing pretty well.
I like Trey Burke when he was on the Knicks.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Was he part of that trade, or they just got him?
I think they just got him. I don't believe he was part of that trade. I know Tim Hardaway Jr. He might have been. I don't remember. No,
Tim Hardaway
was not. Trey Burke was definitely on the Knicks last year. Tim Hardaway was.
Yeah, he was on that trade.
I think it was Hardaway, Porzingis, and
Dorian Finney-Smith, who,
yeah.
It doesn't. It kind of makes sense how people would think that Luka's doing it by himself a little bit like that. Like the only two players I actually watched, I mean, obviously Tim Hardaway does his job and everything like that. Big Bo,
hate him.
I'm not a big fan of him.
I did not like he had 2 stints with the Knicks, and I hated every minute of each one.
Yeah, it's amazing how our two teams, no matter what sport it is, they interact somehow. But it is amazing. Point. But yeah, I mean, I saw Tim Hardaway do his job. Like I was trying to mention, like Jalen Brunson out of the winning Villanova team. He does well when Luka gets off the court, but besides that, there is just no help from the Mavs, and that's why I'm not invested like you are right now. They're just not playing like a good basketball team right now.
You know what's crazy? We're speaking of all-star snubs before, and Julius Randle of the Knicks is it's crazy. I want to say he is stat-wise a top 5 basketball player this year in the NBA.
No, yeah, he's doing really good. Want to know why I know he's doing really good? Because when I like to bet double-doubles a lot. When we do our bets again, I'm going to be doing a shit ton of that. But when I wanted to bet Randall a double-double and the Knicks to win, dude, it was only like – it's like plus like 100. Like that's good for.
I mean, he averages almost 24 points a game, and 10 or 11 rebounds, and I want to say 5 or 6 assists a game. Like that's Julius Randle.
That's good. And that's winning basketball.
I want to say there's only 3 or 4 other players that average 23 and 10 and at least 5 in the NBA. So the fact that he's not a starter is crazy. And I believe I heard this stat. Mike Breen said it today during the broadcast with Walt Frazier. He literally, I believe, said that it's only LeBron and KD, or maybe another player that have that type of stat line. That's not to be with. Yeah, and Julius Randle is like not even talking to like being an all-star. So I'm hoping that the reserve players, Julius Randle's a part of that because he definitely deserves to be the first Knick to make the All-Star game since Porzingis.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, basketball, the Knicks. Go New York, go New York. I mean, I'm invested again, dude. It's actually
it is. Awesome.
No, it scares me though. It scares me because life was a lot easier when I was not invested in Knicks. Because the NBA can be so frustrating sometimes. Like if your team's down 6 and there's like some bogus soft foul call, and then next thing you know they're down 8, and then they miss a basket, they're down 10. Like this, that just pisses me off. So that's why I'm like nervous. Like today they almost blew a lead. They were up by 10 and a half and only won by 4.
It can switch so quick, and that is what basketball. That's what makes it special.
Edison, New Jersey got a shout out today.
Did it really?
Walt Clyde Frazier. Yeah, they were talking about because the Timberwolves have 2 New Jersey kids. I forgot the one kid's name. He went to St. Anthony's, or no? I don't remember. I don't remember where he went. No. Oh, Carl Towns went to St. Joe's, but he literally once said he was like, "Oh, he's from blank, New Jersey." I can't remember the name, and then they were like, "Oh, and
New Jersey
Carl Towns is
from
Edison, New Jersey." And I'm like, "Hey, Edison, New Jersey, getting a shout out." So.
That's awesome.
Cat is good. I can't wait for Carl Anthony Towns to get out of Minnesota so people realize how good he is, too.
Oh, dude. He is on – like, if I wanted to start a franchise with somebody, it'd probably be him. Like, he is one of those players that is so underlooked. It's crazy. He is so good.
I would take him over Giannis, even though – I mean, that's an overstatement. I mean, but, yeah, just personally-wise and just the type of person, I would take – Cat over.
It's not as far off as you think. That's actually not
freak though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
yeah, we should consider getting some big. I know some of our listeners are huge basketball fans. It'd be cool to get somebody on with us on one of these Zoom calls to do a basketball episode maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and get a little run up on what's going on around the league.
They can literally inform us since we're trying to.
So we can ask them questions and get them fucking and run like a Q&A with basketball people.
Yeah, some of these, like how we are with football. Got to find a guy with basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Speaking of football,
let's end off the show.
Let's end the show with the big trade out of Philadelphia this week, and you're the Eagle hater, so the floor is yours.
I never thought to this day, Tom, that I would defend Carson Wentz, but I'm about to defend Carson
Wentz. Because he's not wearing Eagle green anymore.
That too. I am ecstatic that he is not in Philadelphia anymore, not even because I thought he was that amazing. But I always thought he was a humble guy. I always say on the show, I was like, oh, he's a good guy, but I'm going to go with this. And if I had to put a list, I'll let you do this as well. But if I had to do a winners and a losers list out of this trade, the winners here is Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts. I think that's the winners. I think it's like I'll let you talk. I don't know why you're probably gonna disagree with me, but listen, this is a guy that I don't care that I'm a Cowboys fan, but you gotta respect talent where talent is. In 2017, 33-7 touchdown interception ratio. This guy was putting on an MVP clinic. He literally is the reason why they got home field advantage to begin with. Would they have won a Super Bowl if he was still there? I don't know. Maybe that team was good enough where they could have won a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, his first year they had a losing record. His rookie year, it's going to happen. He's a rookie. And then there was last year where he only started a few of the games because Jalen Hurts came in and he was 1-6 as a starter. It's not even like he made a difference.
Yeah.
But think about it. He had 2 years, 1 year where he was an MVP caliber in 2017. In 2019, he led his team to the playoffs against a fully healthy Cowboys team. I mean, of course, it gets through the Cowboys, but he beat the Cowboys with nobody, literally Boston Scott and who it is, and went to the playoffs. Yeah, he got hurt in the playoff game. Is his injuries maybe the reason why they decided he decreased and they didn't want him anymore? Maybe, but to say that he's worth 2 second-round picks is just beyond me. I just think it's ridiculous.
I feel terrible for Eagles fans because I truly believe that. Well, of course you don't, but I truly believe that Carson Wentz is going to succeed in Indianapolis, and that Philly just entered QB purgatory.
You think they'll draft somebody?
I just read a report today that Jalen Hurts isn't even guaranteed the starting job. That they might look in free agency and then they might look in the draft. I mean, just keep Carson at that point. You already paid him. You already have the contract structure. You're taking a $33 million dead cap hit this year. Just keep him. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a shit move by Howie Roseman. It's like almost like Philly got their Super Bowl and they forgot how to build a football team. Right? It's like
crazy.
They won their Super Bowl. They were on top of the world. They were projected to win the division next year. I mean, yeah, they got back to the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, but they literally have gone, they took 10 steps forward. Winning a Super Bowl for Philadelphia is taking 10 steps forward. They've taken 50 steps back in the last
and that's what they've done.
Years.
That's what they've done.
I'm a huge Carson fan, which obviously hates you, but which I mean,
no, dude, I'm gonna be the biggest Carson fans now. I took him first.
I took him as my starting quarterback in 3 of my fantasy leagues this year. Like I thought this year was going to be Carson Wentz takeover because I don't know. I just thought it was. And now he's going back to Frank Reich, who basically had him playing at an MVP level when, that year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I mean, he's going to succeed with the Colts. And the Eagles are going to look back and they're going to literally say, what did we do? Like, why did we trade this kid? Like, we gave up on him. Instead of giving him the benefit of doubt, finding out why the relationships were ruptured in Philly, they just gave up on him. They shipped him off for something way less. Yeah, that it's probably going to turn into a first-round pick, that conditional one.
Yeah.
If he's going to play 75% of the snaps, there's no doubt about it. As Kyle would say, barbecue Brissett is not going to beat him out for a job, and they're not going to sign anybody else. Guy. But yeah, long story short, I think the Eagles are gonna regret that, and that scares me with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get to it in a second, but it's amazing how this trade. I'll just go with it now. But it's amazing that this trade involves Sam Darnold in a way right here. Just hear me out. I made a list of losers, right?
Okay.
Obviously, I had the Eagles as the first loser. And it's not even the Jets. Like, I put, quarterback evaluators and all that stuff because, this whole situation it was just mind-boggling. But if I had to put one of the biggest losers, it's the market for Sam Darnold. That's where I think it's the biggest loser.
Okay.
This is where I'm going to go because think about it. Sam Darnold. I mean Carson Wentz. I apologize. Carson Wentz just got traded for what he was traded for. And I'm not even bashing Sam Darnold here, but he is definitely a better talent as of right now than Sam Darnold. So think about it. That is the market for Carson Wentz, who was a number 2 overall pick, was an MVP caliber quarterback at one point, and was gifted a contract as big as he was, and he got traded for that. But then there's Sam Darnold, and if the Jets want to get him out of there, or if he wants to go get his career somewhere else, now who knows if the market's going to be there for him? Like, what do they get to trade for him?
I think I think some of the big things. I think everything you said, you nailed it on the head. Obviously, he's done more in this league than Sam Darnold has through their playing time in the league with each other when you really think about it. Two big differences, which I think Sam Darnold could get a little more than what Carson Wentz did, contract. You could pick up the option on Sam Darnold. You could trade for him and let him play out this year and then debate on what you want to do with him. So that's a positive. He's way younger. I think he's 4 years younger. And his upside and his potential hasn't really been tapped yet. So I think teams will take a risk, especially a late round risk on a player with already 3 years of experience coming in with just as much untapped potential as a player they would pick at that point. So let's say, I don't know, San Francisco, for example. I don't want the Jets to trade San Francisco back. I see San Francisco moving on from with their later round pick to get Sam Darnold. Yeah. I could see teams like the Bears getting rid of their late round pick for Sam Darnold. I could see Washington. I think that is the team that nobody's talking about that I think is going to start getting picked to get
Washington.
Is going to start picking up steam. It's the Washington football team. And if I had to make a prediction right now, as much as it kills me, I think Sam Darnold's going to be the quarterback of the Washington football team next year with Ron Rivera throwing to Terry McLaurin and whoever else they sign. And it's going to be really dangerous because I really, at this exact moment, I firmly believe the Jets are either going to go all in on Deshaun Watson or they're going to draft a quarterback. It kills me, like I've said that many times before, because I think it should be Watson or Darnold. I just think the more I read, the more I see, the more I hear on sports radio, it's going to be Watson or it's going to be Darnold. And speaking of the whole quarterback carousel, John McClain was on the Fan. I listen to the Fan a lot now that I'm working because I have the radio right next to me.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. They were on with Moose and Maggie. Shout out to them. Love them. Listen to them from
Sponsor us.
Yeah, right. Listen to them from 10 to 2. I think they're on. But they had John McClain of the Houston Chronicle, who covers the Houston Texans, pretty much their only beat reporter. And he literally said it's not a matter of if now, it's when with the Texans. It's all smoke. They're going to trade Deshaun Watson. They know the relationship's ruptured. They know he's not going to be back in Houston. It's a matter of if. And the Jets are going to be the first phone call. Like, that is going to happen. If Deshaun Watson wants to play, if Deshaun Watson agrees to play for the Jets and the Jets give up what the Texans want, which I believe he said is 3 firsts and some type of defensive starter or 2-time or whatever, it's going to happen. And I think that's where the Jets are going to act on Sam Darnold and hopefully get a first-round pick for him, because now they'll have even more ammo, not only to trade with Houston, but to keep for themselves to build around Deshaun Watson. And the narrative that people might read about the Jets won't be able to build around Deshaun Watson, Dan Graziano, who I really don't like actually his takes, made a great point. He's like, let's stop putting this narrative out there for people who don't like the Jets. I don't know why it's out there, but the Jets are probably the only team that can trade for Deshaun Watson and still spend and still build around him in the future years. They're going to have almost $100 million in cap space. Deshaun Watson has like an $18 million cap hit this year. Actually, it'll be 10 for the team that trades him. That'll leave the Jets almost $90 million to spend. And obviously, Deshaun Watson's contract goes through the roof the next 3 or 4 years, but they'll still be able to manage their contracts because they'll have this year to front load everything for some players and then spread it out smaller amounts the next year. So there's no other team better positioned than the New York Jets to trade for Deshaun Watson cap wise, future cap wise, future pick wise. So don't listen to any narrative that it's not. Do I think it happens? Yeah. Probably not, because I'm not getting my hopes up, but hearing everything, it's going to be the Jets first with the first chance to do it. And it's going to be Joe Douglas with, do I overpay and get my franchise quarterback, or do I draft one and start fresh and build around the rookie quarterback like so many other teams have? But that's what I think it's at. So, yeah, I think the Deshaun Watson market is not affected at all by the Carson Wentz trade. I think you're right about the Sam Darnold thing. I
just think it's more impactful on Sam Darnold. I mean, despite if that plan is what you just said, I mean, the Jets are going to be fine regardless.
I'm telling you, Sam Darnold's going to be a football team. I can't. How would you even? How do you even say a player's like? You know how he's like? Oh, he's going to be a Cowboy. What do you say for Washington? He's going to be be on the football. Like, he's going to be a football team.
He's going to be a Washington or
right. They got to get a team name over there.
They got to come up with something.
We should do a whole. We should
make a rebrand of Washington.
We should do a whole episode on rebranding the Washington football team.
And we should.
They should. You ever see the movie The Replacements?
Yeah, absolutely.
They should just do the Washington Sentinels. They should just do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like
Why
that.
Not, right?
I like that.
What other? They could do the Governors. They could do.
Like was it the Cleveland?
The Spiders
was going to do Spiders, right? Because I know they're changing their name.
I think Washington, they got to do something with our history, American history. The Red Tails would be cool. The first African American Air Force group. That'd be cool. Red Tails.
That'd be cool. They just need to have something. Like
they do. They can't do it. I know that.
A football team.
I just realized, I was gonna say, let's say I thought Sam Darnold would be a Cowboy, but mark my words, he's gonna be a Cowboy, and I'm like, mark my words, he's gonna be a
Washington team.
He's gonna be on Washington. Mark my words, he's gonna be on Washington. That just
sounds weird.
It's like, mark my words, Deshaun Watson's gonna be a New York Jet. People
can't say it no more.
Gonna be a New York Jet.
No, point out the helmet. I like it.
I will put that on one episode, no doubt.
I love that. I think my final question, just before we wrap this thing up.
Ask it. Ask away.
Is the Colts an actual contender now that they have Carson Wentz?
The Indianapolis Colts are without a doubt the best team in the AFC South. They're better than the Titans. They're better than the Jaguars, and they are better than the Houston Texans, obviously. And I believe they're probably top 4 or 5 in the AFC. If they get 2017 Carson Wentz, I think they're automatically better than the Bills, who they should have beat with Phillip Rivers, which would make them probably a top 3 team in the AFC. So I think it's what Carson Wentz is going to get.
This team always seems to find a way with quarterbacks,
to win.
Right?
And did you see my tweet this week? About the Colts situation? I know I do tweet a lot. Especially
I didn't see it.
So think about this. Since 1998, right? That's the year they drafted Peyton Manning. So from 1998 to 2011, they had Peyton Manning. 2011, he hurt his neck, remember?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm done with the Colts. I want to find a new team.
Boom, Broncos.
That year, they went 1-15 with Curtis Painter, Dan Orlovsky. 2012, number 1 overall pick, they get Andrew Luck.
Great pick.
From 2012 to 2017, the year Andrew Luck surprisingly retired, they had Andrew Luck, playoff contention, AFC Championship game, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, like that. From one best quarterback to another best quarterback. Then they dealt with 1 year of Jacoby Brissett, which wasn't even that bad. They went 7-9, and they were actually, I think, 6-4 at one point.
Yeah.
Then they signed Phillip Rivers, wants to surprisingly leave San Diego, and they signed
he's
Phillip
not a
Rivers,
bad choice
and they get
either.
back to the playoffs. And now they got Carson Wentz. So they went from Rivers. They went from Manning. To Luck, to Brissett, to Rivers, to Wentz. So they've only had 2.
Starters.
They've only had 2 years since 1998 that they've had below average quarterbacks in Brissett and Orlovsky and Painter. Every other year they've had an above average quarterback.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Good.
And nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about how lucky the Colts have been. They always seem to be in the quarterback market at the right time.
Always.
And that was my tweet. I said they've always been in the quarterback market at the right time, whether it's getting the number 1 overall pick, Manning, Luck, or getting the veteran in Wentz or Rivers. And this was the perfect offseason for teams like that to find a quarterback for their future, because they could have traded for Darnold. They could have traded for Garoppolo. They could have traded for Wentz. They could have traded for Watson if they want. Not Watson because same division, but drafted these guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm sitting here waiting for my team to find a franchise quarterback my whole life. And the Colts have had fucking 4 of them.
You know what's crazy too? Now we're talking about quarterbacks. From that draft that Wentz was in, there's
Nobody's
no
on the same
quarterback that is on the same team they were drafted. 0 for 22 out of that first round draft class.
It's drafted Christian Hackenberg that year.
He's great, dude. What are you talking about?
He sucked in the AAF, the Alliance of America, whatever.
He was terrible.
Oh my God! Oh,
he was awful.
What a waste of a second-round pick. Oh.
No, that's
the guy that basically built these teams around Sam Darnold.
Just think the only 2 left was Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, and now they're on their separate ways. They're on 2 different teams now.
I think low-key Jared Goff might be good in Detroit. Don't sleep on that.
I know. I'm not sleeping on him at all. I'm just worried. I'm worried for
Kenny
him.
Galladay. With DeAndre Swift, their offensive line's not bad, and Dan Campbell seems like he's got a couple screws loose up there, but don't sleep on Jared Goff.
They got to fix that defense.
That's something to prove.
They got to fix that defense.
Yeah, it might be the same situation as Stafford. Goff might play very well, but they might not win football games.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
All right. Before we end this, I just got to let you know that I forgot to put our Zoom on gallery view until about the basketball conversation a little later. So if you do post any of our clips on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, my face is going to be a little square on top for about 45 minutes. But hey, our best content, I had it on gallery view.
All right, bet. All right.
Our Ranger Devil stuff,
Nobody wants to see my ugly face in gallery review anyway, so it's cool.
Well, no. You were the spotlight. You were the speaker view.
You
were just like you were the whole screen, and then I was like, oh shit, I don't have it on gallery. And then I was like, all right, let me put it on gallery view.
Worse.
And then we got the pan next to each other. So that's like towards the end of it. But yeah, you'll see when I send you the video today.
Well, leaving about that, all the stuff as always. Follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Always.
We are finally on YouTube now. I posted our last episode on YouTube.
Let's get it.
It's coming out midnight. We're starting to post clips on the TikTok on all our platforms and stuff. So
yes, sir.
Cool stuff, Tom.
Get ready to talk Mets Yankees this week. We'll come out with some baseball stuff. That's gonna be a night. We're gonna create a Mets Yankees super team.
Oh yes, we are.
We're gonna create a Mets Yankees.
And I'm
going
to start off with 11 Brett Gardners.
And we're gonna find out what team in this exact moment has the better roster. I think it's gonna be a good episode. Maybe we get some of our other Yankee and Met fans on this Zoom for it. Definitely. All right, Milk Money, Cash Money.
All right, buddy.
ZMT Sports.
Checking out.